Hey gang, John Bacarella here with your Lake St. Clair Fishing Report, brought to you by Sportsmen's Direct. Hey, it's June 13th, so we're almost halfway through the month of June and heading into Father's Day weekend here. And well, what can I say? Weather still kind of stinks. We had a few good days last week and nice weather, and they're calling for rain again on and off this weekend. But you shouldn't let that stop you completely, because in between those rain showers, there's been some great fishing activity going on. Now, I do want to start out, though, by reaching out to everybody that is not local. So that means guys that are just inland a little bit from here, and maybe some of you guys down south traveling up here. But we're getting a lot of calls up here all week long with everybody wondering about the boat launches, because I guess the news media keeps blasting pictures out there of like Armageddon-type flooding. So we do not have Armageddon-type flooding at the boat launches, all right? So the boat launches, and I'll show you a few pictures here. I mean, I just did a drive around, kind of like I do during ice fishing season. Did a drive up to the different boat launches, Selfridge boat launch. You can see the water levels are, I mean, they keep pulling the launches back to make it, at the right level for the boats. So the Selfridge boat launch, then we went down to the Crocker boat launch and looked at that one. There were some folks from Kentucky launching at that point when I was there. Again, the boat launches looked fine. And then over to Harley, the big boat launch down at the end of the Clinton River. And you can tell that, the water levels are definitely up by the background where the rock jetty is. The rock jetty is almost underwater, but the boat launches still look fine. At the state boat launches, they will adjust those ramps, or I should say they will adjust the docks on the ramps. They'll keep pulling them back as the water levels come up. So you're going to see some ponding in certain areas of the parking lots, because the water levels are up high enough that the drainage isn't happening like it should. So the water levels on the lake are so high that some of these drains are actually underwater. So the water levels are going to try to adjust to that water level. So you're going to see same thing on some of the roads up here. After we get a rain, that water's just not going to go going to drain out as fast as it should. And in some cases, it won't drain at all. So if that's for you guys that keep calling and asking about the ramps. The ramps are still fine up here. Now, that's not to say that some of these private ramps, these smaller places, maybe down in the shores or other parts of the lake, like up at the ramp at Decker's Landing at this point is shut down unless you want to launch a kayak like directly out of your side door, out the back of your truck, because there's water actually over there flowing over the road down there. So that Decker's Landing ramp is closed right now, I guess, unless you're a kayaker. Now, back to the fishing report. St. Clair River still on fire for walleyes. Guys from shore are catching fish, although some nights are sporadic and some nights are definitely faster than others, but they are catching a lot of fish up there from shore. Even had reports of a smelt run going on up there mid-June. Imagine that, a smelt run, and guys were dipping some pretty good numbers of smelt up there in certain spots. Coming downriver, back down into the lake here, walleyes are still going out here. Guys are picking them up, albeit from my last report, same kind of comment. The fish are spread out now. So you have pods of fish instead of just having a big old mat of fish. The weeds are coming up, and the fish are associating with those weed pockets. So you're going to find that running right through those weed beds or working the edges of those weed beds that are coming up are going to be the way to go. With your crankbaits, just run them up high enough so they're tipping the weeds. Your bottom bouncers, you can actually crash through those weed beds with the bottom bouncers. Inlines tip the weed tops, and I think you guys will do really good on the walleyes out here. Off of the Clinton River, still off of Metro, anywhere from 8 foot to 12 foot. The fish are moving around depending on the water clarity, and you should still have fish down there in the mile roads as well. Now, they are picking fish up out at the channel now, northeast corner of the dump, and I would imagine up there around that firecracker is going to get going as well. Perch fishing, same reports as last week, northeast corner of the dump. Don't have any reports from the hump, but I got to believe there's fish over there as well. That lighthouse should start to be picking up now on perch. That area should start to go. We do have mayflies just starting to hatch out here. We had our first decent hatch last night. We had some mayflies on the building, so we'll start turning lights out at night probably here pretty quick with any night we get an east wind coming in. But the mayfly hatch did just start. That is not the end of the world, guys, for the fish. And I know some of you guys think that just because the mayfly hatch, the fish all of a sudden are full of mayflies and they don't feed. That's not true. Those fish are very opportunistic. They will just start changing their feeding pattern based on the mayfly hatch. So your evening bite will start to get really, really good on that mayfly hatch, and your early morning bite will too. So smallmouth bass, fish are still spawning. We actually just got another wave of fish down in the mile roads that have come in to spawn. I think some of you guys probably thought it was over, but it is not over. There is a lot of fish yet to spawn still. So now you've got pre-spawn fish, you got actively spawning fish, and you have some post-spawn fish. So you got fish in all different stages of spawning over here on the American side. And this is the bass opener here on the American side on Lake St. Clair. So you can expect there's going to be some club events going on, and some, I don't think there's any big events, but there's going to be a lot of guys up here fishing for the bass opener. Let's see, panfish fishing is still going strong. A lot of crappies being caught, big gills being caught in all the backwaters and marinas. With the mayfly hatch going for you guys that like to get out there and fly fish, you're probably, that's going to start to become a big deal here pretty quick too, especially for the panties, those big pumpkin seeds and bluegills and crappies too. Carp shooting, there's a ton of carp in right now, all over the place spawning. I know it's really late, but everything is really late right now. So that's you're going to see a lot of activity with all those carp and gars probably in shallow now as well. Muskie bite's been going pretty good. We had some pictures of some pretty good fish caught last week, you know, what can I say? That's about it for this fishing report. They're still jigging fish in the river, the Detroit River, St. Clair River. They're still getting a lot of walleyes jigging and bottom bouncers. Handliners are going. That's starting to pick up a lot of handliners, buying a lot of pencil plugs and stuff and all that good stuff. So there's just a lot going on right now. So if you get a break in the weather, get out there, enjoy it. Don't be afraid of the boat launches. They're still there. They're above water. And you guys have a great one. Hey, if you guys really enjoy this content, please click the subscribe button and the bell icon so that you can make sure that you don't miss any new updates.